Okay, I wanted to make this video. This is an important video because a lot of people who are just starting this, you can say, journey of trying to take their life back, they don't understand this because they're looking at it mentally through concepts. For example, they start asking questions like, oh, I edged a little bit, but I didn't release. Like, is that a relapse? Oh, I had sexual thoughts about a girl. And is that a relapse? Oh, some semen came out when I urinated. Is that a relapse? I had a wet dream. Is that a relapse? Look, man, forget this way of thinking and conceptualizing. Like, all that matters is you're trying to be free. You're trying to be free. Are you making progress of being free? Progress begins with awareness. Most people aren't even aware that they're doing things that are leaking their energy. They're not even aware of that. So that's the first step. I've said somewhere before, awareness is more important than the actual change. Just keep being aware of what you're doing. Be conscious of what you're doing, and be conscious that you're willing to be open to allowing transcendence over these limitations and low-level behaviors that you have that steal your life force. You're like, you want to transcend that. Okay, good, that's enough. And then you stay with that. You try as best as you can. At the same time, you turn the results over. Right? I wouldn't stop counting like, oh, I have a week now. And oh no, but then a girl walked by and I like looked at her breasts. Did I relapse? This is brain damage. This is the same mind that tells you to lust in the first place. Then it nitpicks and says, oh, but you did this and that. Why? Why would the mind do that? Because it wants you to feel stress so that then you go do it. It's working you. It's doing high-level manipulation on you. So you catch that. So I want to talk about these stages because there's all levels to this. Don't believe people who say, yeah, I stopped PMO and I stopped edging and one and you're done. That's it. It is like, it doesn't happen. Or they're asexual. But if they're asexual, they wouldn't even come out here and make a comment like that. Like, why? Okay, there's levels to this game or to this prison, and so I want to share how it worked for me. So it's not some speculative, abstract, I read from a book and now I'm like rehashing that and telling you. No, how did it happen in my life? What were the stages? What were the levels of lust? From gross to subtlest. This is what we're going to talk about. Because in India you hear sometimes the word brahmachari, and I remember the first thing that attracted me to this book I read about brahmachari 25 years ago it was talking about physical brahmachari and mental brahmachari, and saying physical brahmachari obviously is easier than the mental brahmachari. I'm like, yeah, I know. Because some place inside made a decision like, I'm not gonna release. Because from my body, from my system, I felt the backlash when I would release. I just didn't like it. My nervous system didn't like it. It took me a while to recover. I didn't like it. I'm like, I'm not going to release. So then I became an edging maniac after that. I've made videos before why that happens, because you're not releasing the energy now. So the energy is going to come out via lust or via edging. That's normal. That's what happens. That's mental brahmachari or mental semen retention or mental abstinence or being free mentally of lust, whatever words you want to use. That takes longer. It's deeper. We're talking about the mental body. It's harder. Now some argue, they say, no, I'd rather just release once in a while and then not edge. Okay, then that's what you do. That's what you do. You see, everybody's different. For me, when I would release, it would set up the tendency to want to release again and again. And like I said, for me, releasing wasn't good at all. I'd rather edge. I'd rather lose some energy edging. So that's what I did. I just kept edging for a long time. And here are the stages. So the most obvious gross level was when I watched porn and masturbated, went to massage parlors and did all that. All right, then that stage ended. So now we're getting into real deeper level transformation. How did that look? I wrote some things because we don't want to miss stuff. So what happened after I quit the masturbation, porn, and massage parlors is I would still watch some porn, but I wouldn't release. And I would go to massage parlors do a little something, and I wouldn't release. You see, because my thing was I don't want to release. I felt better not releasing. Now later, did that edging catch up to me and hurt my nervous system? Yeah, I talk about that in my book. Like I got a whole chapter on that. Yeah, it'll get you at some point. But I needed that transition period. How are you going to quit everything at one time? Just try it and see. Can you quit everything at one time? Okay, there's your answer. So you have to work with this. You got to go through the levels and the stages. So I would go to these massage parlors and I'd mess around, and but I wouldn't release. It was taking it down. It was. I was losing energy because of the dopamine stimulation, but like that's what I had to do. Then the next stage, I would watch less porn. It was like I would get more into some fetish, like watch the Japanese girls go to school and play with the teacher or something, you see? I would just get that quick hit and then I'd turn it off. Wouldn't like be on it all night. And then I would go, intruders, I would go to the massage parlor. I want the little kids hearing me. I'd go there and then I would do, what would I do? I would, damn it. Okay, they're gone. Wait, are they coming here? Yeah, they are. They're like here. Intruders. I might have to turn the video off, or I might get up and walk. Yeah, see, they're gonna watch. Oh, now they're leaving. Why are they gonna come like when I'm making a video? I'm talking about this. You know? So I'd go to the massage parlor. First, I would just have sex, but I wouldn't release. Okay, next step, I would like go to the massage parlor and I wouldn't pay for it. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to get to. I like wouldn't pay for the sex because my mind told me, oh, they like that. They like me. That's what, they're not asking me for money. So I got an ego hit. They like my energy in my body. But then later I realized, no, they're using me as like an instrument, a masturbational instrument. They just want to get off. See, a lot of guys, I can relate because it was me, they get a hit from a girl wanting to have sex with them. They're like, oh, wow, she wants to have sex with me. Yeah, I'm like something. But later as you grow, you don't want to be used for sex. Same way that a lot of girls don't want to be used for sex. It's like, don't you see anything else here? Are you aware of anything else here? You get higher level. The more higher level you get, the more higher level the person has to be for you to connect with them. So see, I was going down that path. So then, stage 2. Let's just say we're in stage 2 now. All that burnt out. I got tired of the damn massage parlors. I didn't like it. It was like no depth. It's like no substance. It's too carnal. It was fun for a while, but then it's like burnt out. So then I'd get to the place where I would just kind of drive by the massage parlors. I would just look at them standing out there. This is like Thailand and Bali and places like that. Because they're like set up. They cater to that, to the people looking for this. It's like a massage parlor in every corner, you know. So then I would drive by there just to be in that energy, just to get that dopamine hit. Or I would go just walk by the clubs where all the action is. I didn't want to indulge in it. I didn't want to enter the buildings, but I liked the hit. I liked the excitement. But that's better than like before. You see the stages? So I did that for a while. And then I'd go to I missed the touch of a woman. It's like my body wanted a woman's touch somehow. But I didn't want all the funny stuff that goes with it because that killed it. So then I'd go to professional massage. But I also didn't want to go get a girlfriend. I didn't want a contract. I didn't want, I was busy. I wanted to keep my free spiritedness, but I was missing the connection with female energy. So I'd go get a so-called professional massage with somebody who I connected with, though, who's kind of open, who, but didn't do any of the other stuff. And so then I got that touch. I did that for, I would go like every 3 months or something. And then finally that I didn't need it anymore. You see how things organically come to an end? They just kind of, not for everybody. They come to an end if you're working on it and you're aware of it. That's why I shared at the beginning of the video, awareness. Awareness is super important. So then that kind of fell away. I just didn't need it. I got to where I was satisfied. I just talked to a girl at the grocery store or somewhere, or a friend that I've known for a while. Like, that was enough. I got a good, nice dose of female energy from that. I didn't need anything more than that. I didn't need them to touch me. I didn't need them to give me a bunch of, hits of validation, like they like what they see. I didn't need all that. It just kind of went away because it's like superficial, superfluous. It's just, it like went through its stage. So then the last stage, though, and this is the subtle edging. Somehow, when I would go in public, actually, let me back up, because I said that I was free of wanting hits of validation. No, that was the last thing to go. I would still, when I went out anywhere, it would be on my mind, like I would notice the girls before I noticed anything else, before I noticed the guys or the babies or the animals or whatever else life puts in creation. I noticed the girls. Why? Because I wanted that hit still. I wanted them to notice me. It gets so subtle, man. Even they don't need to even smile. Just notice me a little bit. Just, And then sometimes I would have fantasies and imagination. I would conjure up past experiences, whether that be or porno scenes or situations I was in the past that gave me a hit. I would replay those, right? Extracting dopamine. Man, that can take years to really burn out in an organic way. But that's what you want. You want organicness. Don't go running around crazy looking for techniques that's somehow going to do something that it can't do. You cannot buck this evolutionary process. I like this example when I say it's like if you're 10 years old and you want to go find the technique or the formula to like look 30. You're like, I want to look like a man now. Where's the technique? Do I need some growth hormone pills? Do I need to put something in my voice box to make me talk deeper? You see, all that nonsense. Now, if you find some yoga asanas or bandhas or pranayama or breath work, or, I share about lifestyle habits. For me, lifestyle habits, healthy habits, is stronger than techniques. But if you find some techniques and it seems to work for you, okay, then you do that, man. Like, there's no rules here. That's my whole thing. I can only share my experience of what really worked. And for me, lifestyle habits worked the best. Cleaning my life up, good company, good environment, clean diet, make my life as simple as possible. Do what's necessary, but don't get a bunch of stuff to take care of and a bunch of commitments, and to where your mind is just always engaged with stuff out here. Because then you're not home, you're not grounded. If you're not grounded, these strong, lustful thoughts, they can grab you easier because you're not grounded. It's like if you're in an MMA fight and you're standing on one leg trying to fight, you're not grounded. So they're going to knock you down easier. When you're grounded, when you're at home, when your mind is less distracted and engaged with a bunch of things, you're more present at home. It's like if you lived in a house and you're never home, people can steal from you more easy. It's the same thing. If you're not grounded inside, these negative tendencies and habits and forces, they can like steal your life force more easy and get you to engage in them. This is what I learned. And so, because like how, I pose this question, how are you gonna, when we're talking about being free of lust, we're talking about being free of the strong, energetic compulsion of thinking, which is backed by a strong energy that seems to force you into engaging in a certain thought loop or a certain action. That's what we're talking about. That strong compulsion. How are you going to make yourself free? What are you going to just reach in and pull that out, or are you just going to say, I'm not going to do it? It don't work. I mean, you already know that it doesn't work. But we're afraid to surrender to that fact because we think, wow, if I admit that don't work, I'm really screwed now. No, you're screwed by not admitting it don't work. This is where grace comes in, and some greater universal power comes to aid you in your journey when you admit that you can't do it with your little power. That's the whole purpose and benefit of coming to see that. Because then you open yourself up to a power that can do for you what you can't do for yourself. And then it just does, you don't even know how it happened, man. I was telling my friend, he was saying also, what happened to us? He's one of he's like the person, he remembers, like we did stuff together. All that crazy stuff. You know, we'd go out and we'd just both be edging on and doing what we do, you know? And I'm like, what happened to that, man? Like, that is so gone now. I'm like trying to figure out, how was that even attractive before? Like, how the hell was that even enjoyable? He's like, I know, it's crazy. He says, like, we're in the same body, but like, what happened to that part? I'm like, I don't know, man. Grace just does it. Evolutionary law does it. Cooperate with that. These levels that I talked about, this is how you be free. This is actually how you get free. You go through the levels. Freedom comes from life bringing out these tendencies and compulsions in you and then letting them burn out. They can't burn out though unless they come up. See, people don't want to deal with the messy side. They just want to take some pill or do some special technique, and then just everything's better. No, man, it's just, life don't work like that. Real transformation doesn't work like that. That stuff has to come out and come up, and then you suffer it, and then you get past it. And then you have experience and you understand how others you have compassion for them when they're going through it. If you meet anybody and they're telling you, you're telling them about your habits and what you're trying to be free of. If you meet a teacher like this, who when you share that stuff with them, they start to guilt trip you or shame you on some level, or say, look, man, you need to stop doing it. That means they haven't overcome it in their own self, actually. If otherwise, you know how this process works. Now, is there a time and place? Sometimes you're working with somebody and you push them to try to overcome it by saying, look, man, just stop this shit's so stupid. Like, stop. Yeah, there's a time and place for that. But if that's not underpinned with compassion and understanding that you can't force this evolutionary journey, if the person's words isn't underpinned with that in some way, if they can't admit that, if that's not in there too, they're not a real teacher and they haven't transcended their own self. So don't listen to them or their videos or read their books or anything, because it's how they can help you. They're just gonna make you feel worse. You can't shame yourself into being free. That shame's gonna make you more fettered and more stuck, because the shame's going to turn into stress, and then you're going to want to get rid of it, and then you're going to default back to these habits. All right, those kids are coming again, I think. All right, I'm out. I shared everything I wanted to share. Let me know how you like that. I'll see you guys.